Hello and welcome to Chicken Tuesday. Today I thought I would focus in on another one of the girls and give you a little bit of an insight into what they're like and who they are. So today I thought we could talk about Hamble. Hamble is a double-laced Barnevelder, and that is a Dutch breed. And Hamble, along with Matilda, is the oldest of the girls that we have here. And we got Hamble almost exactly 3 years ago, when she was about 10 weeks old. She didn't have any comb or wattles, and she was just like a little, well, they were hardly visible anyway, and she was a shadow off what you see today. So on the right hand side here, this is Hamble. So the double lace, you can guess when you have a look at her feathering, she is has got sort of almost like a mahogany coloured feather with black lacing round it, and another sort of black line within that lace. So she's 3, and she's a bit of a character. Barnevelders have yellow legs and feet. Hers are sort of lemony at the moment. They're not maybe as yellow as the breed would like. But other than that, she's a fine figure of a lady, aren't you? She's quite funny though, because she does have always a constant angry bird look about her. I'll see if I can focus in. Hello. I think it's because she's got almost like her eyes aren't oval completely, they're quite flat at the top, so she's always got like a frown. Haven't you, Hamble? Yes. Hamble lays about 4 eggs a week, maybe 5 eggs a week sometimes. But she's been laying since, now we got her in the August, and she probably started laying in the November time, I think. And really, other than breaks for molting and broodiness, she's been laying regularly ever since. And her eggs are, they're a sort of light brown, medium to large sized egg, and they taste very nice indeed. Thank you very much, Hamble. Her name is quite unusual, Hamble. It's not a real name, a person's name like I name the other chickens. Like for example, that's Edith that's just come up right next door to her. Hamble was the name of a doll in a children's television programme in the UK that was on through the 60s and 70s, I think. And certainly I grew up with it. It was called Play School. And Play School had a couple of presenters, and they had different toys that they had little characters, and they did stuff to educate children, young children. And Hamble was a bit of a squish-faced dolly that, as it happens, nobody really liked. And looking at the memoirs of some of the presenters of Play School, even they said that they didn't like Hamble. So why would we name a chicken Hamble? Well, it was my husband who's got a sense of humour, I think. But what he said was, well, Hamble got a bad rap as a doll in Play School, so let's give one of the chickens the name Hamble, and hopefully she'll be a really nice chicken, and it will give the name a new lease of life as a nice name for a nice thing. Well, Hamble is a nice bird. She's a lovely girl, but I have to say she can be a bit of a witch. Out of the 4 girls, Matilda, the speckled Sussex, is the top of the tree, so she's the head of the flock. And then it's Hamble, and then it's the two tiddlers, Edith followed by Beryl. But our original chickens, we had Matilda, Florence, who was also a speckled Sussex, and Hamble. And Matilda and Florence sort of vied for being top of the pecking order. It was quite difficult to tell which one was top of the pecking order, but one of them was. But what was obvious was that Hamble was bottom of the pecking order. And when Florence died, Hamble being bottom and Matilda being top, Hamble was obviously keen not to remain bottom of the pecking order. So when we got new birds, she would make their lives a misery. It was always Hamble that was the one that was really beating the other birds up. Now that happens. It's called forming the pecking order. So when you get new birds and you introduce them to the flock, there is a bit of pecking and there's a bit of jostling and until everyone knows their place. But Hamble really went to town, and the first new girl we got was called Bella, another Barnevelder, bigger than Hamble, even as a youngster, and Bella was terrified of Hamble, because Hamble was a right witch. She was a witchy poo, and one time we came home from work and Bella's legs, lovely yellow legs, were all running with blood because Hamble had been pecking at them. So she definitely didn't want to remain bottom of the pecking order, and she didn't remain bottom of the pecking order and has never been bottom ever since. So yeah, she's definitely the person that or the chicken person that's the one to look out for when anyone new comes into the flock. But that said, she is a lovely girl. She is a lovely girl, and she gets broody. That's another challenge that we have with her. I think she would be a fantastic mum, and I have I have a cunning plan. My husband doesn't like my cunning plan. And when he watches this, he'll be scowling at me. But I'm sort of thinking if she does go broody this year, we might do something along the lines of either introduce day-old chicks to her or get some eggs for her to sit on. But we are hoping that she doesn't go broody this year. Last year she was broody for 13 weeks. And the year before she was broody for 11 weeks. And that basically means she'll sit in the nest box until I lift her out, and I would lift her out, or someone would lift her out, at least 2 times a day, sometimes more, so that she would have something to eat, have something to drink, stretch her legs, have a poo, and then she'd be desperate to get back in again. So it does take its toll on chickens when they're broody for that long, although she was, we persuaded her to eat enough that it kept her going. But yeah, I don't really want to put her through that again. And last year, after she had been broody for 13 weeks, she instantly went into a molt, which chickens will do, where they drop some or sometimes quite a lot of their feathers to make room for the new ones growing in, and that takes a lot out of them. So 13 weeks of broodiness, a few weeks of changing her feathers, and she was a bit of a state. But she battled on through, and we made sure that she got as much food and etc. to help her as possible. But this year I wouldn't like that to happen. I would rather we let her have some chicks or sat her on some eggs. If we sat her on eggs, it only takes 21 days to hatch, so that would be 21 days in the nest box rather than 13 weeks in the nest box. Worried about getting cockerels in the hatch, so unless I could be sure there was somewhere I could put the cockerels, I wouldn't go down the hatching route, but I might go down the getting day-old chicks, sexed day-old chicks, which some breeds of chicken you can do, and then popping them under her and hoping that she thinks that she's actually, it was her that sat on the eggs and they hatched for her rather than us just introducing them. I've got a lot of arm twisting to do for hubby if we do go down that route. But it will be interesting if we do go down that route. But really, I just want her not to be broody this year, to have a year off if that's at all possible. If she does go broody and we do manage to get her to have some babies, I'm sure she'll be a great mother. In fact, I'm sure she'll beat anything up, any of the other girls up that come anywhere near her chickens. I'm sure she will be a great mum. But please, 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 Hamble, don't go broody. Anyway, yeah, so Barnevelder, Dutch breed, double laced is the particular variety of Barnevelder that she is, and she is a lovely girl. Meanwhile, you can see that Edith here is enjoying some foraging, and down at the bottom there, Beryl's enjoying some foraging too. So they're very happy. It's a dry, warm day, not too much sunshine. We've had a bit of sunshine, but they're chilling out. Matilda's in the nest box, I think, laying. Let's just go and see. Oh, no she's not. Oh, there's Hamble's egg, actually. She laid this a little while ago. So a light brown egg. Very nice indeed. We'll put that in the house in a sec. Let's just go and find... Oh, there's Matilda there. Hello, Lee. Are you just having a wee chillax? There she is. Having a wee seat in the extension. Hello there. Are you quite happy in here? Because it's been dry all weekend, they've been out and about for ages, so yeah, I think she's just having a little rest. She's decided to follow me round. Come on. This is me doing the backward thing again. Where I fall over. Come on. Your pals are around here.